In this video, we are going to take a look at point of view. Your goal by the end of this video is to be able to list and describe 4 different points of view. You do have a PDF copy of these notes that we will be going through bit by bit in this video. We need you to know that point of view is our access to the story. It's how are we viewing the story through whose eyes? Is it a character in the story, or is it some other narrator who is not a character? The last piece we need to know before we go ahead are pronouns. Now, pronouns replace proper nouns. Instead of saying Iron Man, we can say he. He is a pronoun. Our point of view is going to be based on the pronouns that we use. So we're going to see first-person pronouns like I, me, my, our, and we. And we're going to see third-person pronouns like they, he, she, and it. And for a record, we can use the pronoun they to refer to one person. Before, we didn't really use it that way. This way, if we don't know someone's gender or someone wants to go by the pronoun they, we can use they to mean one person. We can also use he or she to mean one person. It is normally used to refer to non-human things. So let's take a look. First person point of view. We have this book picture on the screen here. One of our students did this years ago. So we've used it since then. We have a book and we have some characters in the book. Notice we see what every character says, but in first person point of view, our narrator, labeled with an N, is inside the story. We know what that character does and says, but because that character is a character in the story, we also know that person's thoughts. They might say, I'm going to the store and I really don't want to. That's all in their head. They're the ones telling the story. Now, any of these characters can say the word I in their spoken words. So if it's in quotation marks, anything goes. But we're looking at the narration of who's telling the story. If we see I, me, mine, other first person pronouns, we know we are in first person point of view and we only get the thought of one character. We're going to skip second person point of view. Second person point of view uses second person pronouns like the word you. So if you look at a self-help book, when it says you should do this, that is second person. But there are 3 types of third person point of view. The first is objective. Think of the O of objective to mean no opinions. We only know what characters say and what characters do. It's like a fly on the wall. Picture a fly just sitting there. The fly can see everybody, see what they're doing, see what they look like. Think back to our methods of characterization. They can hear what characters are saying, but they can't get into anyone's head. And the narrator is not going to give us opinion words that someone is smart or that someone that this is the best time of the year. We're going to get none of that. No opinions, just objective. Movie scripts are written objectively. Our next third person is third person limited. In third person limited, a lowercase l looks like a number 1. We are limited to only one character's thoughts here. Our image here is a little strange, but we have the same book. We have characters' thoughts, and our narrator is still a fly on the wall, but they can get into one person's head. Maybe they're a special mind reading fly. So we've got this mind reading fly getting this character's thoughts. This is almost the same as first person narration. We know what every character does and says. We only know what one character thinks, but we are not using first person pronouns. So in first person, we might say, I went to the store, but I didn't want to. In third person limited, we would say, he went to the store, but he didn't want to. So our pronouns are limited. We have this mind reading fly on the wall, not a character in the story. Our final type of point of view is our third person omniscient. Omniscient means all knowing. So Mr. Worley's famous drawing here of Santa Claus, omniscient is like God or like Santa, someone who can get into everyone's heads. And you'll see in the picture, we know everyone's thoughts, we know everyone's words, we know everyone's actions. The narrator can get into anyone's head. It doesn't mean the narrator is God or Santa. It just means that we're going to use third person pronouns and we can get into multiple characters' heads all at one time. So if you need to review this video, you should be able to list and describe first person point of view, third person objective, third person limited, and third person omniscient point of view. Try it out. If you need to, rewatch this video.